I'm at the point in my life where if I don't start doing something now with my animations, there'll be no point ever trying. The interest kind of came out of, I can remember I was in primary 4, I think. I got moved down in every single one of my classes from maths to English, and I wasn't in any class with any of my mates anymore. And I remember feeling like, oh man, I guess this is me entering my life. I'm the useless one that can't do anything. And there was one class, you didn't have art at that time, I don't think. I think it was just a class where we were told to all bring in our cuddly toys that you went to bed with. I had a Tweety Pie, and I used to draw that a lot beforehand just because I found it fun. And I remember I brought it into the class, we're all handing our drawings in, and she was going, oh, very good, very good. And when it came to me, there was a genuine look of shock. Like I've never seen a teacher's face, even since then, I've never seen someone go like, that's impressive for your age, that's very, like obviously for my age, it was very impressive. And I remember I've kind of held that ever since, and to this day, the way I draw eyes is the same way I drew Tweety Pie. I guess you could say that's for some sort of approval from the rest of the world, because I got so much approval in that one moment. But it was always something that sort of inspired me to always know that if I've got any talent, it's definitely going to be this. Well, in the early days of the internet, I can remember just discovering from my brother and his friends, it was a website called Newgrounds, and it had loads and loads of different animators, from Egoraptor to Mr. Weeble to Edgeworld. There's like an endless list, and I always end up going back to them at some point, but they were all very strong inspirations in different ways. But I didn't really think of it as that back then. I just thought of it as, oh cool, there's some entertainment for me online. I can sit and sit and watch these cartoons instead of having to wait for my show to come on TV. I can just go straight to the internet and watch these stupid cartoons, and they felt more unique because they were somebody on their own that just made these and posted them out, rather than when you're watching something on TV, it would be a show that's made for like a certain audience or something, but that these people were just doing it purely out of passion, and that was really intriguing for me.
Like every day, Saturday, my friend. Go to sleep, wake up, Saturday again. I'm a busy man, I'm all around the world. I'm fucked about this pretty little girl.
Keek was more or less a nickname I got just from my friends when I was a bit younger, and the story isn't really that relevant, but I just liked it. I can remember we were all younger and we all wanted to have our tag names for graffiti. I can remember my mate was Cambit, my other mate was Ghost, just really cheesy, like, oh yeah, we're cool, and I didn't really have a tag name. But then when this nickname came about, I was drawn to it, thinking I want to use that in some way. I've always liked the idea of I love iconic characters, like anything you can see in, like, from their design, they're their very own thing, and they've got this iconic name. And when I would draw, because I would always draw myself, I thought this works perfectly. If I'm going to make a character, I don't want it to be directly based off of me, so I'd like the idea of there to be a nickname behind it. But ever since then, I've had a lot of people just calling me Keek, or Kyle Keek Smith, because that's my Facebook name and all that. But it's always been something I've sort of used to make this character I'm creating based on me in many ways, but separate from me in many other ways. Here we are, the beautiful weather of Scotland. This is the reason I stay inside all day and do nothing but draw things. This is more or less a collection of a bunch of different things that I drew for the Adventures of Keek. I've just kept it up. I actually lost this for a long time and recently found it, specifically for this. That's my bad self, as basically each character was gonna, like, we were gonna be each character from each game. Obviously that doesn't work copyright wise, so we're gonna have to scratch that idea. There's me as Mario, there's myself Fallen, there's me, you can sense the vanity already, there's me as Kirby, there's me getting a bit more arty with what I was colouring in. That's me when there's a point where he's in the internet and his brain is being put into the recycle bin. And Admin, and I think that was one of the first drawings I did of him, just to sort of get exactly, so it's meant to just be the hat I'm wearing, but the way I've kind of moved it is so that he's kind of got arms and legs, but not really, but kind of does. That was kind of to show what kind of expressions he can do and how far his face can stretch. When I was I think I was about 13, early teen years, my emotional stage, I'm pretty sure this is me and my girlfriend. We're both about 13, we're both about 20 in this, but this is when I had my deep phase, you know, trying to look cool, trying to show off to the ladies with my drawing skills. You don't want to see this, it's a big willy. That's someone's face with a bunch of willies over it. That's another good tip. If you're ever going to get into animation when you're a young age, you want to start by drawing willies. It gets really good with the line work. These are some of just the illustrations I did. This was the first one when I was just bored and I decided I want to draw myself as a Rick and Morty character. And then as soon as I posted that, there was loads of people asking if they could pay me to do drawings of them in different art styles. So the majority of this is just different people from different places that I've never really met who just wanted a wee drawing themselves. That's a band, I'm pretty sure, a reggae band. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go back to uni or not, but I feel like I'm now in the situation where if this was to blow up, what I'm trying to do with illustrations, I'd be able to earn enough money to have my own flat, and I'd be very happy, because I find these, other people will look at these and find them quite impressive, which is amazing to me, because I've gotten to the point where I've done this for so long that it only takes a matter of, I don't know, maybe half an hour to get the drawing and then get it done on the computer as well. Yeah, this is a good thing to come across actually. This was the first concept for The Adventures of Keek, and it was just we were told to do a comic strip in class, and I'd always had an idea of wanting to do this kind of thing, me falling through the internet with my hat as a character. It was always a general idea I wanted to do at some point, and I thought I might as well just, it was only meant to be 3 pages or whatever, so I just thought I might as well just do a really short little comic. All I can remember is I was falling and falling and falling, and he's falling through all the icons on the internet, so he's not aware of what's happening apparently. I can't even remember the story of this one. I'm getting pretty fucking sick of all this falling. I remember I was told by my lecturer, he was actually quite proud of me for this one. So it's like showing him falling in each position that he's in, and then it's sort of showing you in greater detail where he's at and what position he's in. God, I'm actually kind of proud of myself for this one. Oh, what? Sorry, man. Haha, I joke about porn, isn't that funny? Most things I try and keep consistent because I like to be very honest, and so like I'll give him sort of the dark eyes, a bigger nose than the other characters, but then when it comes to anything like mannerisms or just small things about myself that I don't feel is my personality coming across and is more to do with an issue of anxiety or just overthinking things, I'll keep them away from that character. This character's a bit more confident, similar to what I think I was more like when I was a teenager. I was a much more confident person, I feel. I've still got that confidence, but since I've spent a lot of time inside doing animations and stuff, my social life has went to shit in many different ways, but that character will always have that confidence. Spending all day in your room, kind of, it will make you really sad, honestly, because you're just gonna get in the mindset. I'm very fortunate. A lot of people who are in my position do not have a girlfriend and are not in the situation where they can at least be somewhat social, but I do have Natalie to sit there and sort of chat to, keep me going, keep me happy. But the main issues I've found with sitting in your room all day is, especially, like, I'm thin as fuck, and it's purely because of just, if you're sitting in your room all day, time as a concept is going to be a completely different thing to you. You're going to be thinking of it differently, and the day's just going to actually completely fly by before you even thought to have your first meal. So that's the main concern for doing this kind of thing, is definitely health. It's difficult for me to communicate the same way I used to be able to. I feel like I was a lot more able to indulge in loads of people, but I'm a lot more pessimistic now. I feel like I'll be a lot less likely or inclined to go to a party, whereas when I was a bit younger it was like I had to be at parties constantly. It was a very important thing to feel like I was living my life, but I feel like I now get enough satisfaction from doing things like animations, and like that sort of gives me the dopamine I need, instead of having to like worry about other things like that.
Coming. Smokes out, mate.
Me and Jamie have known each other.
Always.
Yeah. Always.
We've always been doing kind of like little drawings and stuff like that together.
But it's not been like,
really
oh, we want to look like we had those loads of arty friends who were really good at art and
Yeah.
stuff. We wouldn't be thinking that. We'd be thinking we want to draw the best looking dick, the most disgusting, horrible looking thing we can think of, and hopefully it'll make us smile in the end. That's all we wanted.
We done it in school quite a lot, and we used to get caught out for it, and the teachers would be like, "What?
Aye,
What's happening
aye.
here?" He definitely is a perfectionist,
But
but
not in a good way. Like,
yeah,
I've spent too much time
it's like
attempting to.
it's like a hindrance more than anything, like the perfectionism. But
Like
I think he will finish it. You're going to get to a point where you're going to be like, I've
want
put
this
too
in.
much into this to not put it out there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, not put too much in the sense of I've animated for so many hours. It's just like you've thought about it so much and you've put so much effort into it that you just, it's got to be sort of seen, even if it's just by like a few people like around you or whatever like that. But you do definitely need to fucking get it rolling.
Get
yeah.
it out.
Get it out.
Right now it's just a matter of seeing how much money I can get from things like illustration. I've never really dived into this before because I don't know, I've always been aware you can make money from this kind of thing, but I never thought my stuff was this good. But I've had a lot of people thinking, it's rather like saying to me, this is really impressive, you deserve the money you're getting and things like that. Where I am in my life right now, although you could see this house, you could see this room, you could think he's got it pretty good. I'm not exactly in the happiest place. I would very much like to be in a flat of my own and sort of have my own responsibility and my own, and sort of feel like I am looking after myself. I feel like that would pick me up in a lot of ways because I'd feel like I'm now the one who's responsible for myself. It would probably bring my confidence back in many different ways. Although I would like to earn money, I'm the kind of person who'd be happy to live in a box if they had some paper just to do something and get what I want done and be able to express myself in ways that I can't because I'm a jittery, mumbly weirdo, but I can express it much better on a screen and show exactly who I am. I hope one day that the Adventures of Keek ends up being something beautiful and massive, and I've got loads of different ideas, and every time I get a new idea I'll write it down or I'll animate a bit of it, and then I'll end up being disappointed with the art style and wanting to redo it and go over it again. But I think The Adventures of Keek is just, it's not even a real title, it's just something that I've said for now that I want in the future for all my ideas to come together into this one big animation. It could change drastically, the characters could be completely different, not even relevant to me, but still metaphorically in some way express how I felt about certain things and opinions of certain things. But it's just, this is sort of the starting steps, and it shouldn't be, because I'm 21 now, it should be well into it, but this is something that I feel like if I was to do and get out, I would end up at some point being disappointed in it and going, oh, I could have changed this, I could have changed that, but no I can't because it's already out there and it's already done, and it's so important to me that if I don't get every point across that I'm planning to get across properly, then it feels like it was pointless to even start.